First, to sign in, you need to find our school district. The way to do that is to either type in Detroit Service Learning Academy under school name, or under the school code, type in MI1025. Again, that school code is MI1025. When it asks you to sign in with your username and password, it is the same as your username and password for News ELA. So it's RSLA, first name, last name, and your password is student1234. When you sign in, please click the button for Writing Workshop, and it will take you through the first 4 lessons. The first lesson is called What is an Informational Article? This lesson is going to teach you what an informational article is, and it asks you to answer several questions. As you answer the questions, it's important that you try your best because this piece of software does assign you a grade for how you do on these assignments, and I will be checking those. Once you finish learning what an informational article is, it's going to take you to the next lesson, which asks you to understand the structure of an informational article. In this lesson, you will learn about the parts of an informational article. Again, after you've finished answering questions about the structure of an informational article, you're going to be asked to brainstorm topics for an informational article that you would like to write on your own. These slides will take you through some information about what brainstorming is and ask you a few questions. When you reach this particular slide, it's going to ask you to create your own brainstorming web on paper. It says, use the web to brainstorm topic ideas for your informational article. Be sure to brainstorm multiple topic ideas for each category. When you get to this step, you're going to use the brainstorming web that I've created for you, and you can add details to that brainstorming web on your own. Let me take you to that brainstorming web and show you what to do. This is what your brainstorming web for your informational article is going to look like. The directions say, use this web to brainstorm ideas for your own informational article. Add as many circles as you like for additional ideas or details about your ideas. The center circle says informational article ideas, and then I've given you 2 categories from which to begin your brainstorming. The first category is characters in Greek mythology. The reason I put this category here is because we're learning about myths, legends, and folktales, and a lot of them are dealing with characters in Greek mythology, and you've now completed a web quest to help you understand more about what those characters were like. So what you can do is you can write down the names of 3 characters that you think you might want to learn more about and write more about. So for myself, I might be interested in writing about Athena. I might be interested in writing about Demeter. And I might be interested in writing more about Poseidon. And once you're done with that, this bubble over here says topics I know a lot about. Here, I'd like you to choose 3 topics that you already know a lot about that you would be interested in writing about. So for myself, I know a lot about dogs. I actually used to be a dog trainer before I was a teacher, so I might be interested in writing about dogs. I know a lot about Scotland. It's one of my favorite places to go, and I know a lot about it, and I'd like to know more. And I also know a lot about yoga. Once you've come up with 6 different topics that you might want to write about, it's time for you to choose one that you think that you really want to write about. So for myself, I'm going to choose Scotland. And because I'm choosing Scotland, I'm going to add in at least 3 details about Scotland. So make sure to add at least 3 details about the topic that you are choosing. So details about Scotland. I know that Scotland has a lot of castles. I can add that as a detail. So I'll add my line. And my bubble. I know that Scotland had clans. So I'm going to move that. I'm going to add my line and my bubble. And I need at least one more detail. So I might add the Jacobite Rising of 1745. And this is a famous war that took place in Scotland, and I know a little bit about it. So I'm going to add my line and my bubble. And there we are. So at this point, I have completed my brainstorming web and I've earned all of my points. Once I've done that, I'm going to go back to my Moby Max window and I'm going to continue on with my lessons. The last thing I'm going to do is choose a topic for my informational article. So after answering a few more questions about what makes a good topic for an informational article, I need to answer a question. The question says, use your brainstorming web for reference. Choose a topic for your informational article and record it here. Then write a paragraph explaining why you chose this topic. So remember, your topic does need to be pretty specific because if I just chose Scotland, Scotland would be a very, very broad topic. I could write about anything. I could have an informational article that talks about castles, sheep, and native plants all at the same time, and that's too much. So I'm going to focus solely on the castles of Scotland. So I know it says to write a paragraph, but really what I need from you is 3 sentences. So I'm going to go ahead and blow this up so you can see it. So I need 1 sentence telling what your topic is. And I need 2 sentences explaining why you chose the topic. So here goes. My topic is the castles of Scotland. I chose this topic because I have been to Scotland and seen some of its castles. I would like to know more about the castles and why some of them are falling apart today. And once I've done that, I can go ahead and move on and submit. And at that point, I am done. And my score will say 0% because it hasn't been graded yet. So that's how we complete the first 4 lessons of a writing workshop for informational article.